Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for taking your time to come over to the residence. And thank you very much for viewers online. Thank you very much. Every time I have this Friday Night Live here, I feel very fortunate. And also I feel very much excited about the music. And we started this Friday Night Live in the middle of the pandemic last year. Then our intention was to support musicians living in New York who have lost opportunities to perform in front of the audiences. So we started. And this is the 15th concert after that. So I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to those musicians who have participated here. Thank you very much. And also tonight, it's very special because this is the last Friday Night Live of this year. The Friday Night Live is going continue next year too. But yeah, this is the end of this year. So in that sense, I feel very, very special. Then I would like to express my gratitude to those musicians and also all those viewers who have watched this program, like right here or online. Sometimes we have more than 5,000 viewers on the concert. So those viewers online made us feel very strong to continue to this program. And sometimes I tell you honestly, it's never easy to prepare this one, all the arrangement, but I feel like we are doing great things to support the musicians and also to please all the viewers. And tonight, we have a very special performers and musicians, the great musicians, Eiko Kano and friends. And if you take a look at the program, you may already know how wide and deep of her selection of the songs. And so Kano, Eiko, and friends will take us great journey of great music tonight. And this is very, what can I say, diversified and varieties, like from 18th century to 20th century. From Mexico, United States, Germany, England, and Russia, and Hungary, all those different geographical points. So she will unite with music. So let me introduce the great musicians. The first, on violin, Eiko Kano. Please come over here. She graduated the Tokyo Geidai, the most prestigious art school in Japan, and one of the best of the world. And she's in demand. She's been doing various things. Of course, playing violin. But also she's a concert master of the orchestra, the Pegasus. Pegasus, the orchestra. And also she's been regularly performing with New York Phil. And also, more than that, she's a true ambassador, music ambassador of OIST Foundation. If you don't OIST stands for Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology. It's a new school, but it's a very important school. And she is adding the musical element to that very prestigious institution. And also, she won various international competitions, including the Four-Bar Scholarship. That is, she won the Stradivarius Rainbow Violin. So much so, she's amazing. But on top of that, I brought her CDs. This is her latest recordings. It's about Manhattan stories. Just starting winter and spring, and she's going to release new CDs for summer and autumn. So much so, you enjoy her music tonight. And next, on piano, Karén Hakobyan, please. Karén is an American pianist, but according to this paper, American pianist. So he is true international and American. He is not only the pianist, but also the composer, and also the music director of the orchestra, the Pegasus. So he's performing internationally various venues. But This CD is also recorded by two of them. So you will enjoy his great performance tonight. And on cello, Nan-Cheng Chen, please. And he's also great cello player. Not only cello player, but also he's educator. He's teaching cello master course at Penn State University. And also he's performing with various venues and also various orchestra, including National Taiwan Symphony Orchestra. So these three people will take us to the great journey of music. And I hope you have a great time. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm so happy to see all your faces. Some familiar, some new faces, and hi everybody who joined online. We are so happy to be here. And we would like to open very special last of the 2021 Friday Night Live concert with a Mexican composer's work called Estrellita. We chose this piece. I don't know, I hope your 2021 was not too harsh or not too much of difficulties. And we went through a lot. And I'm hoping 2022 will be filled with love and light. And this piece represents that warm feeling. So we wanted to open with this piece. So this piece was composed by Ponce, the Mexican composer, and originally composed as a song. And but the most famous arrangement today is done by Jascha Heifetz, who is a legendary violinist who transcribed this for violin and piano, but it's often played by saxophone too. And so I hope you will enjoy the opening of this concert.
Hello. Hi, I'm Nan-Cheng Chen. I'm a cellist. It is my honor to be here joining two wonderful musicians and performing for wonderful audiences both in person and online. And the next piece we're going to play is Mozart's G major piano trio which is K564 by Mozart. And this piece is written in 1788, which is later in his life. And he has given equal parts to all three instruments, which is innovative in the repertoire of the piano trio at the time, especially to the cellist. Yay! So we're going to play the first movement, which is in the sonata form. It starts with the lyrical first theme, and then even more lyrical in the second theme, which is very interesting because usually we expect contrast, right? And so the piece continues to be lyrical, but the interplay of the importance of the solo and complements, the melody and complements, which is shared by all three instruments, adding to the spontaneous character of the piece. And so the spontaneity and the lyricism of the piece is what we hope to give you a first start of the concert. So I hope you enjoy it. Hi, it's me again. The next piece we're going to play is the Passacaglia by Handel Halvorsen. It was first composed by Handel in 1720 for harpsichord suite, and later rearranged and composed by Johann Halvorsen, who is a Norwegian composer, about 150 years later in 1894. The piece starts with 8 measures of theme, and then later, through variations, explores different possibilities of the 2-string instruments, showing virtuosic playing through techniques like pizzicato, panticello, double stops, and of course lyrical passages. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hi, it's such a pleasure to be here this afternoon while my colleagues are setting up. I'd like to say a few words about the next piece. We'll be performing a slow movement of Mendelssohn's Trio in D minor. When it was premiered, a few weeks afterwards, Robert Schumann was at the premiere and he proclaimed about the piece that it is the great trio of our time. Just like Beethoven's trios or Schubert's trios were considered the great trios of their time. And that's actually a very strong statement for a composer to make about another living composer at the time, but that's how passionate he felt about the piece. Interesting note that Mendelssohn actually went back after the premiere and revised the piano part only, embellishing it a little bit further. The movement that we'll be playing, as I mentioned, is a slow movement, and I think it's very much written in the manner of his famous song Songs Without Words. It's a very singing, beautiful element to it. And I think because of that similarity, actually, it, interestingly enough, works as a separate standalone piece in a sense. It complements our program today. And you'll hear that the melody, getting the treatment. He writes in the tempo marking andante con moto, but then he follows. Let me just open my score. But he writes afterwards tranquillo. So he wants to have certain inner movement that you can hear in the piano, often in the running 16s, and sometimes it gets passed around to the strings as well. But at the same time, the melody itself is just so peaceful and full of love and unravels on its own. So it's almost there are two different elements, interplaying with each other at all times. So without further ado, here's Mendelssohn's second movement of his trio in D minor.
we would like to take you to Hungary, the music of Hungary. It's composed by Bela Bartok, and he's a 20th century composer, left so many amazing, really deep, which touches humanity very deeply, kind of music, philosophical and very soul-gripping kind of music. And he actually lived on 57th Street at the end of his life. And then if you walk carefully on 57th Street, then you will see a little house with his black mask, face mask. And today we have, when we talk about phone, it's all right, swiping, right? And in his time, there was no such thing, of course. And in the tape recorder was this huge, gigantic gadget that he had to carry on his shoulder. And he went to village in Romania, in Hungary, and he collected all the folk songs which was inherited within the village. So this is Romanian folk dances as a result of his collection, and I hope you enjoyed. It has a very distinctive characters of 6 movements. Thank you. Rachmaninoff, Russian composer, vocalist. And this is composed for voice with no words. You just sing, but because it's so beautiful. By the way, Rachmaninoff also lived in New York City, and he lived in neighborhood of my house. I think it was 555 West End Avenue, which is on the 86th Street. I just read this afternoon, and he was also buried here, died here. And so this work is so beautiful, and it's often played, of course, singing, of course, but violin and cello as well. And each instrument brings different characteristic beauty. I hope you enjoy it.
interlude up next, so to speak. I'd like to play a piece by Earl Wild. It's actually an interesting transcription because he's a great American pianist, and he did so many transcriptions. In fact, I've also played a beautiful transcription by him of the same vocalist you just heard for solo piano. And what he does is really, he tries to capture the essence of the music that he's transcribing, but also manages to add a completely new light, a new technical and artistic element to it. So what you'll hear next is one of Gershwin's most famous songs from his song cycle, and it's called Fascinating Rhythm. I'm sure you recognize the melody right away. But the way he starts even in the beginning, this really quirky chromatic passage that builds up, and all the inner voices that he adds give it a very different feel. In fact, he called this a virtuoso etude, and he has a whole set of them. So without further ado, here's Fascinating Rhythm of George Gershwin, described by Earl Wild.
Next piece is Scherzo by Brahms, but this one has a little story behind, and it is actually the A movement of a sonata called FAE sonata, and it was a gift to a legendary violinist Joseph Joachim, and it was the idea of Schumann, Robert Schumann, to have this gift to him, getting together with Brahms and Dietrich and Schumann himself. So Schumann assigned Brahms to be in charge of scherzo movement, and this is how it's composed. And when they gifted this composition, they wanted Joachim to identify who wrote which movement, and apparently he got everything right. And when they played for the first time at Schumann's house, Clara Schumann was playing on the piano too. So I hope just imagine like Schumann, Brahms, Joachim together in the same room. That's pretty insane, but I hope you enjoy the music.
So the last piece on the program is actually a trio by Franz Joseph Haydn. And it's a really interesting trio because he composed this during his final stage in his life. It's one of his last trios that he composed. And it was during his London visit that he composed a set of 3 of them actually. And he's known as the pioneer of the string quartet, right? And the pioneer of so many things actually when you really think about it. But I think sometimes you overlook at his contribution to the genre of piano trio as well. Because in the Baroque period, when we really think about it, the cello often doubled the keyboard part, or they had a very similar approach to the sonata form or the trio form. And Haydn, in this piece, as you can see, he really brought all the instruments on equal footing and gave cello an equal voice, so to speak. These pieces were widely popular when they were premiered in London, and I think that they are one of the best representations of that whole period. And they're so innovative. I mean, they have the element of the Sturm und Drang. The way Haydn just startles. It seems to be this effortless rondo, just playful little melody with lots of virtuoso passages, and then the character just without a warning, just suddenly just bursts into a storm, throughout the piece. So we'll be playing the third movement, as I mentioned, and it's a rondo, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Yes, we have one last musical gift for tonight, and I would like to play Tango por una Capizza by John Williams. And Gado composed and John Williams arranged for actually violin and orchestra, but this one version is with piano and violin. If you know a film called Ascent of a Woman with Al Pacino, this is my favorite movie. And that beautiful scene when Al Pacino goes on the dance floor with that beautiful young lady, and oh my God, that's the music for that scene. Enjoy.
thank our artists one more time. Eiko Kano on violin. And Mr. sorry.
Karén Hakobyan.
Yes. Karén Hakobyan on the piano. And Nan-Cheng Chen on the cello. Thank you. A beautiful performance, a little bit of history, a little music theory. That was great. That's beautiful. Thank you. And to our supporters, followers, thank you so much for your support for the Friday Night Live series. We really appreciate you supporting what we've done here. And don't worry, because we're going to be back. Our next performance is going to be on January 21st at 5 p.m. And it's going to be an amazing shakuhachi performance. So tune in to a tablet, cell phone, or computer near you. And be sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, for details on the next show. So take care, everyone. Be safe, and go out there and make your own music. Good night.